Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us on CBS News Colorado. I'm Michael Spencer, pleased to be joined by our CBS News Colorado sports team of Romi and Richie Cozzolino, and we are talking baseball, the 30th season in Rockies franchise history.
Oh, it's exciting. Blake Street Bombers, they're going to be opening the 2023 season on the road in San Diego.
The home opener is going to be April 7th versus the Washington Nationals.
Now, last season, the Rockies ended up with a 68-94 record.
Oh, yeah.
That is not good. They finished last in the NL West. They were, however, 41-40 at home. So if you went to a game at Coors Field, it was a coin flip. We were going to see a win or not. We got together before the season started last year for some predictions. And take a look at what Romi predicted before the start of last season.
Hope springs eternal.
Oh, here we go. Somebody's drinking the purple Kool-Aid.
Time for a winning season.
There you go.
Me 82.
Oh, 82.
Okay.
You know, I knew it was outrageous then. It's even more. Should I do it again?
No.
I think if I did it this year, it'd be like a fireable offense, right? Like last year, it was funny. Gosh, I'm going to go with the solid 68 this year.
Okay.
I'm going way lower than last year.
I do appreciate the optimism last year for 82. 68 seems about right. BetMGM has the over-under for total wins at 65.5. For the sake of Rockies fans watching, we're not going to mention the odds on winning the series or the division. Richie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to be as optimistic as Romi. I don't see that. I will say this, 62 would be in a 100-loss season. I'm going to put them right above that at 63 because the NL West, meat grinder this year.
You know, the saying in baseball is everybody wins 60 and everybody loses 60.
Right.
So you're basically saying the Rockies are going to win like 3 more than maybe we give them 4 in that.
That sounds about right.
In that saying. I think you're right. I would take the under 65.5. There just isn't a lot about this team that's really appealing right now.
You know what's sad? So that means, again, my 68 is wishful thinking.
Well,
is really the
according
consensus
to me and Richie.
right here. And according to BetMGM as well. So
that's what April baseball is all about, the optimism of the season.
Yes, and speaking of optimism,
yes.
Rockies owner Dick Monfort has
yes. I guess so. Back in January, he said we got a lot of talent, a lot of good things are going to happen, and I think they're going to start happening this year. I think we can play 500 ball. Now, this got a lot of criticism. Oh, my gosh, Dick Monfort's saying 500 ball, but realistically, I guess if you look at it, we're saying here, over-under set at 65.5. 500 ball is actually kind of optimism. If you look at it, I guess I'll give Dick Monfort credit for having a realistic approach.
Remember, it was a couple years ago when Dick said he thought this team could win 94 games, which was outrageous at the time and continues to be. I even think that 82 is a bit of a far stretch. If they are going to do that, however, Romi, Kris Bryant is going to need to, 1, stay healthy, and then 2, do what the Rockies thought that he would be capable of doing when they signed him to a big contract last offseason.
I mean, this is rule number 1, 2, and 3 of if the Rockies are going to have success, if they're going to get close to 500. Kris Bryant has to play. He's got to play well. He played 42 games last year. He's going to have to play 150. You know, that should be the bar for Kris Bryant. He can't play any less, and he's got to play well. He had 5 homers last year while playing at Coors Field. Now, he did have 4 in spring training, so if you extrapolate that, if he had 5 last year, he played 25% of the season. Okay, so that's 20. I'd take 20 homers from Kris Bryant, but he has to play well. He has to anchor this team. There's really no option about that. He's an extreme expense right now, and he's not worth his money, so he's got to make it this year.
Of course, we know pitching always a big deal at Coors Field, and for this organization, German Marquez getting the start for the 3rd season in a row as the Rockies opening day started. What should we expect from Marquez this season, Richie?
Yeah, I think pretty much exactly what we expected last year from him. Right now, he has a 4.5 ERA. And I wanted to ask you guys this. When's the last time we had a pitcher that we really considered an ace in Mile High at Coors Field?
It's been a really long time.
Ubaldo Jimenez, 2010?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I remember talking to Bud Black about that years ago, and everybody was asking, hey, is John Gray the ace of this staff? Right. And Bud was even reticent to give him that title because I think, 1, he wanted John to go out and prove it. But 2, like, he just doesn't feel like there's been a reliable guy in that starting rotation, really, since you mentioned Ubaldo in 2010.
People go to Dodgers, people go to Giants, Padres games because they want to see an ace pitch, a complete game, a no-hitter, something special on the day. I just don't look at German Marquez or Kyle Freeland and go, that's somebody I'm going to Coors Field to watch. 41st and 43rd in the MLB in earned run average over last season. That's not an ace.
No,
sorry to tell you.
They need to be a lot better. Speaking of which, Kyle Freeland, the hometown kid, obviously, hasn't had a winning season since that breakout year in 2018. Maybe, hopefully, this is the year. It feels like it needs to be if the Rockies are going to accomplish what they want to accomplish in playing 500 ball.
Yeah, I mean, he went 17-7 in 2018, and he's been a far cry from that since then. And when we talk about this, the Rockies having a true ace between Markey and Freeland, after that, there's just a massive drop-off, and we've just explained that they're not even, might not for some people be, true aces. So beyond that, the pitching rotation, which it has been for so many years, has been so thin. I mean, how many years has it been where Bud Black saying we're going to go with a 4-man pitching rotation? There is just not enough depth at the bottom of that pitching rotation, which is why there's even more pressure on Markey and on Kyle Freeland. They have to be aces and hope that everybody steps up, hope that Austin Gomber steps up, Ryan Feltner steps up. Senzatella's always been, a little up and down, but you're going to need big play from all those guys, and let's be honest, they just don't have a super deep rotation.
The game itself is going to look a little bit different this year. We got some rule changes, including the pitch clock, which means these games are going to be going a lot faster than normal.
I'm so excited about this. The pitch clock especially. I mean, they were averaging about 2.5 hours in spring training. That's fantastic. It's going to be great for the entertainment value, but it's going to be a lot of fun, too. I actually think when you look at this, people thought, oh, it's a hitter advantage. This is way a pitcher advantage. You look at those hitters, they step out the box, they're fixing their glove, they take forever. Now the pitcher's got the advantage because he's just standing there, right? And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a challenge for both sides, and I'm here for it.
I 100% agree. I think Romi's right. They get one timeout, then they have to get right back in the box.
Yeah.
For guys who grew up in the change your batting gloves, adjust everything, pray to your God, it takes a while to get out of that, I think. So, yes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for fans because right now they're averaging about a half hour less baseball than there was a year ago. Yeah, you're all about it. I was a little hesitant, but now that I saw the spring training results, I'm about it too.
For the casual Rockies fan, give us somebody to maybe look forward to, somebody who could maybe take a big leap, somebody who's coming up from the minors. Who are you keeping your eye on?
Just who Romi said, I think Ryan Feltner is going to be key. He's a young guy. Covered him in Grand Junction, so me and him are pretty close back in the day in 2018. But just overall, I think the pitching rotation needs a lot of depth. Can Ryan get there this season? I don't know, but if he does, that'd be a big boost.
You got a guy quick?
I'm going with Ilauris Montero. Brendan Rodgers being out, that means Ryan McMahon goes back over to second. He's going to have time to do well in the hot corner, hopefully, and then as well at bat, too. He played 53 games last year. I think he's a rising star.
Hopefully the Rockies can surprise us and we can have some good baseball to talk about at 20th and Blake this season. That is going to do it for us. Thanks so much for joining us for another year of Rockies baseball predictions. We'll, of course, have all the latest on all of our local teams on CBSColorado.com.